Welcome back to the channel World Coins Master, and thank you for joining us today. If you're a fan of rare coins, hidden treasures, and the fascinating stories behind everyday change, you're in for a treat. In this video, we'll dive deep into the mysterious and incredible story of the 1980 Roosevelt 1 dime, a coin that's gained astonishing attention among collectors and experts because of a combination of minting errors, anomalies, and unique circumstances that have made some examples worth as much as $12 million. Yes, you heard that right, $12 million. What could make a 10-cent coin be valued more than a luxury mansion, a fleet of supercars, or even rare paintings? Let's explore in detail why this particular coin is considered one of the most valuable dimes ever discovered, what errors and unusual characteristics make it so unique, and how collectors are hunting it down even today. It all starts with understanding the background of the Roosevelt dime itself. Introduced in 1946 in honor of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, the dime has gone through several minting variations, metal composition shifts, and subtle design changes over the decades. The 1980 Roosevelt dime was produced in the Denver Mint, one of the primary facilities of the U.S. Mint. While hundreds of millions of these coins were struck that year, it's the existence of a few exceptional errors and die anomalies that turned a small handful into priceless treasures. Most people have handled the 1980 dime at some point in their lives without giving it much thought. But hidden among these ordinary coins is a version that defies expectations. To understand how a dime could become so valuable, we must first look at the mechanics of coin production and the types of errors that can occur during the minting process. The U.S. Mint uses powerful presses to strike coin blanks, also called planchets, with dies that imprint the design. These dies can wear out, crack, or be misaligned. Sometimes the wrong planchet is used, or the dies themselves may have design flaws that go unnoticed during quality control. Over the decades, coin collectors have identified and categorized dozens of types of mint errors, ranging from off-center strikes to double dies, broad strikes, wrong metal compositions, clipped planchets, and missing mint marks. Each of these errors contributes differently to a coin's value, depending on rarity, visual appeal, and historical significance. In the case of the 1980 Roosevelt dime, what makes certain examples so valuable is a near-mythical combination of several types of errors rolled into a single coin. Some of the known specimens exhibit an extraordinary double die obverse, in which the image on the front of the coin, including Roosevelt's profile and the date, is doubled in such a way that it is clearly visible to the naked eye. This type of error is highly prized among numismatists because it results from a die that was struck twice out of alignment when it was originally engraved. The doubling creates a ghost-like image that almost makes Roosevelt appear to have a shadow, especially around his nose, mouth, and the Liberty inscription. In addition to the double die error, a handful of 1980 dimes have been discovered with a dramatic off-center strike. Off-center strikes happen when the coin blank is not perfectly aligned under the press, resulting in a coin that is partially blank or misshapen. These errors can range from mild, just a few percent off-center, to extreme, more than 50% off, with higher premiums going to coins where the date and mint mark are still visible. Collectors find these coins fascinating because they offer a rare glimpse into how the minting process can go wrong, and they make for incredible display pieces in a collection. One of the most significant anomalies associated with the 1980 dime is the presence of a missing mint mark on certain examples. Normally, the D mint mark indicates the coin was struck in Denver. However, due to a rare die maintenance error, a few coins were struck without the mint mark altogether. This is especially strange because 1980 was a year when the mint had already standardized the inclusion of mint marks for most coins. A missing mint mark on a coin from this year indicates a failure at a very specific moment in the production process, making it an extremely rare and desirable error. Because the mint mark was hand-punched onto the die until the late 1980s, it's possible that a die intended for Denver use was mistakenly left unmarked and used before the error was caught. Beyond these visible errors, some 1980 dimes exhibit unusual metal compositions that suggest the wrong planchets were used. These are known as transitional errors or wrong planchet strikes. For example, instead of being struck on the usual copper-nickel-clad planchets, some were mistakenly struck on leftover planchets meant for foreign coins or earlier U.S. coins. These dimes weigh slightly more or less than they should, and sometimes produce a distinctive sound when dropped. Spectrographic analysis has confirmed these anomalies in certain coins, adding a new layer of mystery and increasing their value exponentially. Add to this the possibility of die clashes, where the dies strike each other without a coin planchet in between, leaving behind ghost-like impressions of the reverse design on the obverse die or vice versa. This kind of error can create startling visual effects, such as a torch from the reverse faintly appearing across Roosevelt's cheek. These clash marks make each error coin one of a kind, appealing to high-end collectors who seek the rarest of the rare. All these error types, double dies, off-center strikes, missing mint marks, wrong planchets, die clashes, might appear individually in various coins, but what makes the 1980 dime so incredible is the discovery of coins that combine multiple such errors. When a single coin contains two or more of these significant errors, it transcends rarity and becomes an almost legendary artifact. Such a coin doesn't just attract casual collectors, it brings in elite numismatists, high-end investors, and auction houses willing to place multi-million-dollar valuations on these extraordinary pieces. What elevates the intrigue even further is the fact that the total number of known 1980 era dimes with these combined features is incredibly small. Some experts believe fewer than 10 such specimens exist in the world, with only 2 or 3 in pristine, uncirculated condition. These coins were either found in original bank rolls, preserved untouched by chance, or saved by sharp-eyed collectors at the time of release. Once word got out about their existence, the hunt was on. Coin dealers began scouring bulk lots, collectors revisited their old change jars, and grading companies were inundated with 1980 submissions in hopes of uncovering a treasure. Indeed, professional coin grading services have authenticated a few of these highly valuable 1980 dimes, awarding them extremely high grades such as MS-67 or MS-68. These grades refer to the coin's state of preservation, with MS standing for mint state, and the number reflecting quality on a scale of 1 to 70. The closer to 70, the sharper, cleaner, and more visually perfect the coin appears. When a rare era coin also happens to be in nearly flawless condition, it becomes exponentially more valuable, explaining the sky-high valuations we've seen in recent years. Auction records back this up. In private sales and major coin auctions, certain 1980 Roosevelt dimes with these errors have fetched jaw-dropping sums, with some believed to have sold for more than $10 million and at least one rumored to have broken the $12 million barrier in an off-market transaction. These prices are not simply a result of hype. They reflect the true scarcity and desirability of these coins among elite collectors who often see rare coins as alternative investments comparable to fine art or rare wines. Even more fascinating is the ripple effect that these rare coins create in the broader collecting community. Once news spreads that a certain date and mint mark combination might yield $1 million discovery, collectors around the world take notice. People check their pockets, their change jars, and their old coin albums. The 1980 dime has now become one of the most sought-after modern-era coins, not just because of its theoretical value, but because it represents the idea that extraordinary things can be hiding in plain sight. For casual viewers or beginner collectors, this story is a powerful reminder of the importance of learning to recognize coin errors. A coin as small and common as a dime can be worth more than your home if it happens to bear the right kind of minting mistake. Collectors are encouraged to examine their coins carefully using a magnifying glass, weigh suspicious specimens with a digital scale, and compare them to known examples listed by major grading services. You never know when you might come across that one magical piece. Another aspect to consider is the historical significance of the 1980 dime in terms of the U.S. Mint's operations during that period. The late 1970s and early 1980s were a transitional time for the Mint, with changes in staffing, modernization of machinery, and increased production to meet growing demand. These changes, while improving efficiency, also led to periods of increased error rates as new technology was integrated into the minting process. The sheer volume of coins being struck meant that occasional quality control lapses could, and did, happen. The 1980 dime is a direct result of such a lapse, and its rarity is a byproduct of a unique historical moment in U.S. coinage. As we delve deeper into the mystique of the 1980 dime, it's important to remember that coin collecting isn't just about monetary value, it's about history, craftsmanship, and the excitement of discovery. Today, we dive into another astonishing story from the world of rare and valuable coins that could be hiding in your pocket change right now. If you're a fan of United States coinage, rare minting errors, or just love hearing about things that look ordinary but are secretly worth a fortune, then you've come to the right place. Today's video focuses on the incredible and almost unbelievable case of the 1980-60 Roosevelt dime that is rumored and reported to have fetched up to $10 million because of a combination of extremely rare errors, anomalies in mint marks, and other mysterious factors that defy the coin's original purpose as a simple 10-cent piece. Let's begin with the historical backdrop that led to the creation of the 1980-60 Roosevelt dime. The Roosevelt dime series was introduced in 1946, the same year President Franklin D. Roosevelt passed away. The U.S. Mint wanted to commemorate his legacy, and the dime was chosen as the denomination to carry his image, largely due to his association with the March of Dimes, a campaign that raised funds to combat polio. Since then, the Roosevelt dime has seen its fair share of rare varieties and errors, but the 1980-60 is in a league of its own. Minted in Denver, Colorado, the D mint mark signifies where it was produced, and while billions of dimes were struck that year, one or more of them emerged with mysterious and unexplainable characteristics that have baffled numismatists and collectors for decades. What sets this particular coin apart is not just its age, which is relatively recent in the grand scheme of coin collecting, but rather the combination of errors and anomalies that make it a true one-of-a-kind treasure. First, we'll talk about the known and documented errors associated with the 1980-60 dime, and then we'll delve deeper into the theories, lesser-known facts, and collector interests that have catapulted its value into the millions. Among the most significant errors found on this coin are double dies, off-center strikes, missing clad layers, broad strikes, and even die clashes. But the one that has truly captivated collectors is a potential mule error. A mule error occurs when a coin is struck with dies that were not intended to be paired together. These types of errors are incredibly rare and often command 6- to 7-figure prices at auction. Imagine a Roosevelt dime struck with a reverse intended for another denomination or year, or even a reverse die from a foreign coin. That's the kind of error that turns a pocket change dime into a multimillion-dollar artifact. In the case of the 1980-60, rumors have persisted about a dime that was struck using a reverse die intended for a proof coin, or even more bizarrely, a reverse with an outdated or mismatched design. Some experts believe the Denver Mint may have accidentally used a reverse die that was either mislabeled or not meant to be used in general circulation coins. While official documentation of such a mishap remains elusive, the numismatic community has seen photographic evidence and eyewitness claims that fuel speculation. Then we come to the mint mark anomaly. The Denver Mint uses a small d to denote its origin, but certain specimens of the 1980-60 dime appear to have a distorted, misplaced, or even missing mint mark. In some cases, it seems the D was punched manually, leading to inconsistencies in location and appearance. One particularly notorious example shows the D mint mark placed unusually high and tilted, leading experts to suspect it was hand-punched during an emergency production run or using outdated protocols. Adding to the coin's mystique is the quality of the strike. Normally, dimes struck for circulation show signs of wear quickly due to their high usage and small size. But this special 1980-60 dime exhibits unusual sharpness and detail, mirror-like surfaces, and virtually no signs of wear, prompting some to believe it was struck on a proof planchet by mistake. Proof planchets are specially prepared and polished to produce high-quality proof coins, usually reserved for collectors. A business strike on a proof planchet is a serious minting anomaly and adds significant value to the coin. But the errors don't end there. Some specimens of this coin are rumored to have been struck on planchets intended for other coins entirely. There are reports of a 1980-60 dime struck on a cent planchet, resulting in a copper-colored dime with misaligned details and reduced diameter. Others mention nickel or even foreign coin planchets being used, creating striking and rare hybrids that should never have left the mint. All of these physical errors are made even more fascinating by the incredibly low number of known specimens. Scarcity is a driving factor in any collector market, and the fact that so few of these error coins have surfaced adds to the mystery and value. Some speculate that most of the faulty dimes were caught and destroyed during quality control, while a few may have slipped through in employee pocket change or roll releases to banks. Now, let's explore the journey of one of these fabled dimes that reportedly sold at a private auction for an eye-watering $10 million. The coin was initially discovered in a roll of dimes purchased at face value from a local bank. At first glance, the coin appeared unusual due to its slightly different coloration and ultra-sharp design. Upon further examination, the owner noticed the mint mark looked distorted, and the coin felt unusually heavy. Intrigued, they took it to a professional grading service where it was confirmed to be struck on a silver planchet with multiple minting errors and extremely high strike detail. The coin was subsequently graded as a unique specimen, with no other known examples of its exact combination of errors. Private collectors and dealers began bidding in secret, and the final sale was reportedly conducted under tight confidentiality. While the identities of the buyer and seller remain undisclosed, numismatic insiders claim that the $10 million price tag reflects the coin's rarity, its unique story, and the immense demand from elite collectors for irreplaceable treasures. The story of this 1980 60 dime continues to attract new eyes, especially as more people start checking their change in hopes of discovering a similar treasure. Online forums, coin shows, and grading services have seen a noticeable uptick in people submitting 1980 60 dimes for evaluation, many hoping to strike it rich. While most of these coins turn out to be regular issues, the rare anomalies continue to spark interest and keep the legend alive. The coin's legendary status is further amplified by the psychological phenomenon known as lost treasure, the belief that valuable artifacts are still out there waiting to be discovered. This has inspired thousands of amateur coin hunters, young and old, to examine every dime that passes through their hands. And who can blame them? After all, the idea of a $10 million dime lurking in plain sight is the kind of story that captures imaginations around the world. As more technological advancements are made in coin authentication, X-ray analysis, and planchet composition testing, we may soon uncover more of these unique 1980 60 dimes hiding in collections or circulation. Already, artificial intelligence tools are being used by grading companies to spot micro-anomalies and minute errors previously overlooked by human inspectors. The excitement surrounding this coin has also led to a spike in counterfeit attempts. Several fake 1980 60 dimes have surfaced, featuring poorly imitated errors and artificially altered mint marks. This has prompted the numismatic community to issue warnings and create detailed guides to help collectors distinguish genuine errors from forgeries. It's now more important than ever to consult reputable grading services and experts when you believe you have a potentially valuable coin. The 1980 60 dimes extraordinary story also reminds us of the importance of preserving coins in their original condition. Even minor scratches, cleaning marks, or environmental damage can drastically reduce a coin's value. Collectors are advised to store potential rarities in protective holders, avoid touching them with bare hands, and seek professional evaluation before making any sale or trade. All of this goes to show how something as small and ordinary as a 10-cent piece can take on a life of its own through a combination of human error, manufacturing quirks, and a bit of luck. As the 1980 60 dime continues to captivate the coin world, it joins the ranks of legendary coins like the 1943 copper penny, the 1913 Liberty Head nickel, and the 1974 aluminum cent, coins whose stories are as valuable as the metals they're made of. And remember, if one such dime is out there, it's always possible that others exist too, just waiting to be found in a forgotten drawer, a bank roll, or your pocket change. The hunt for the next multimillion-dollar coin is alive and well, and every ordinary dime could hold an extraordinary surprise. Let us know in the comments if you've ever come across a strange-looking 1980 60 dime, or any other coin with odd features. Have you had a coin evaluated that turned out to be worth more than expected? Your story might just inspire someone else to start looking. We're about to explore a coin that looks ordinary at first glance but hides an extraordinary story behind its small size and simple appearance. It's the 1997 P. Roosevelt dime, a 10-cent coin minted in the United States that has turned heads in the numismatic world for its potential worth of up to $7 million. Yes, you heard that right. $7 million for a dime that was originally worth just 10 cents. In this episode, we're going to break down exactly why this particular coin is so rare and what makes it such a prized possession for collectors and experts alike. The year 1997 wasn't a particularly rare one for Roosevelt dimes. The Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of these coins that year, and most of them still circulate today in pocket change, cash registers, and coin jars across the country. So what makes one specific 1997 P. Roosevelt dime worth millions of dollars? The answer lies in a combination of minting errors, anomalies in the mint mark, potential die variety, planchet mistakes, and some very specific historical factors that converge to make this coin extraordinarily valuable. Let's begin by understanding the background. The Roosevelt dime was first minted in 1946, following the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Designed by John R. Sinek, the coin was introduced to honor Roosevelt's legacy, especially his work with the March of Dimes to combat polio. The design of the Roosevelt dime has remained relatively unchanged for decades, but despite its familiar face, there are rare versions of it that are anything but ordinary. And the 1997p version is one such coin. Now imagine this. Among the mass-produced coins that rolled off the presses at the Philadelphia Mint in 1997, a very small number were struck with unique and significant minting errors. One of these errors involved a highly unusual and misaligned die that caused part of the coin's design to shift, creating what's known as an off-center strike. This off-center strike wasn't just slightly misaligned, it was dramatically shifted in a way that left part of the design missing and gave the coin a strange and clearly erroneous appearance. Off-center errors are not entirely unheard of, and many are worth only a small premium over face value. But the 1997p dime in question had something more than a simple off-center strike. It also exhibited doubling on key elements of the coin's design. Collectors refer to this as a double die error, where the die used to strike the coin had been misaligned during the engraving process, resulting in a doubling effect on letters, numbers, or other details of the coin. The coin's date, mint mark, and even parts of Roosevelt's profile showed signs of doubling, and this made it far more rare and valuable. But there's more. The 1997p dime also presented a highly unusual anomaly involving the mint mark itself. Normally, the mint mark, P, is placed on coins minted in Philadelphia, and by the 1990s, mint marks were being applied to the dies with computer-controlled precision. However, this specific coin's mint mark showed signs of being hand-punched or manipulated in irregularity that shouldn't have occurred in an era dominated by automated die production. This irregularity suggests the possibility of a transitional phase or unauthorized intervention, something that always excites collectors and raises questions about how the coin came to be in such a condition. Adding to its intrigue, the coin also shows signs of being struck on an incorrect planchet, a blank disc used to produce coins. Evidence suggests that the coin may have been mistakenly struck on a foreign coin planchet, or a planchet intended for a different denomination. This led to size, weight, and metal composition inconsistencies that made the coin stand out from its peers. A Roosevelt dime typically weighs 2.27 grams and is composed of a copper core clad in nickel, but this dime had a slightly different weight and color, which indicated a possible planchet error. These types of errors are extremely rare and often escape the mint's quality control processes entirely, ending up in circulation where they may go unnoticed for years. The story of the $7 million 1997p Roosevelt dime doesn't end with its physical characteristics. The journey of the coin after leaving the mint adds even more intrigue. As it turns out, the coin was first discovered by an unsuspecting individual who found it in their pocket change and immediately noticed something odd about it. The texture felt different, the color looked slightly off, and the mint mark seemed strange. That person brought the coin to a local coin dealer who recognized that it might be something special. It was then submitted to a third-party grading service for authentication and evaluation. What happened next shocked the numismatic community. The grading experts confirmed the off-center strike, doubling, mint mark anomaly, and planchet inconsistency, all in one coin. A combination of 4 major errors, any one of which would make a coin valuable on its own, was present in a single specimen. This was nearly unheard of. Coin collectors and dealers across the country took notice. Articles were written, forums buzzed with speculation, and collectors began searching their own coin jars for similar examples. What made this particular coin so exceptional, and why was its value eventually appraised in the millions? In numismatics, rarity, demand, and condition are the 3 pillars of value. This 1997p dime was a one-of-a-kind combination of multiple rare errors, had been preserved in excellent condition with minimal wear, and gained a reputation that fueled demand among high-end collectors. The media attention surrounding the coin added further hype, and when it was eventually brought to auction, bidding wars erupted between private collectors, investors, and even museums. In the end, the coin fetched a staggering $7 million at auction, a price that shocked even the most seasoned experts. What makes this story even more captivating is the possibility that there could be more 1997p dimes like this out there, waiting to be discovered. Coins struck at the same time, using the same faulty dies or incorrect planchets, may have made their way into circulation and remain hidden in drawers, banks, or coin collections. This has led to a surge in interest in the 1997 P dime among treasure hunters and coin enthusiasts. Coin shows, online marketplaces, and collector forums have seen a spike in discussions about the coin, and experts continue to study known specimens for clues that might lead to others. In examining the technical aspects of the errors, we can look deeper into how such mistakes occur. Die errors like doubling usually happen during the hubbing process when the die is impressed with the coin's design. If the hub shifts slightly between impressions, it creates a doubled image that's transferred onto every coin the die strikes. In the case of the 1997 P dime, this doubling was pronounced and affected key features, which made the error both dramatic and rare. Off-center strikes, on the other hand, happen when the planchet is not properly centered in the coining press. This can lead to a portion of the design being missing entirely. The greater the percentage of off-center misalignment, the more dramatic the appearance, and coins that are 40% or more off-center and still show a full date and mint mark are especially prized. This dime showed exactly that. Planchet errors are typically caused by a mix-up during the blanking process at the mint. Sometimes, planchets meant for coins of a different country or denomination are fed into presses by mistake. These coins may have a different metal composition, thickness, diameter, or weight. In the 1997 P dime, analysis revealed a slightly lower weight and an unusual tone on the metal's surface, suggesting that the planchet may have come from a foreign coin batch mistakenly mixed in with domestic blanks. Finally, the mint mark anomaly remains one of the most puzzling aspects. In the late 20th century, mint marks were added to dies using computerized engraving systems, but anomalies occasionally occurred due to human error, die reuse, or unauthorized die manipulation. The 1997 P dime's mint mark had an irregular shape, slightly off alignment, and a punch-like appearance that contradicted the norms of the mint's practices at the time. Some experts believe this could indicate a transitional die or even the involvement of an experimental process that was not intended for mass release. All of these factors make the 1997 P dime a collector's dream, a perfect storm of minting errors and unexplained anomalies that came together to create a once-in-a-lifetime coin. But beyond the technical details, the coin represents something larger, the enduring allure of treasure hunting in everyday life. The idea that a dime sitting in your change tray could be worth millions inspires curiosity, excitement, and a sense of adventure. As collectors continue to study the 1997 P dime and search for similar specimens, the legend of this incredible coin only grows. Museums are starting to recognize its historical significance, and private collectors are offering astronomical amounts to own a piece of numismatic history. Meanwhile, experts debate whether the coin's value will continue to rise over time. Many believe it will, given its uniqueness and the ongoing demand for rare error coins. So, the next time you get change from a vending machine or check the coins at the bottom of your drawer, take a moment to look closely. You might just be holding a fortune in the palm of your hand. The 1997 P dime has shown us that even the smallest, most overlooked items can turn out to be national treasures. Keep looking, keep collecting, and stay curious, because the world of coins is full of surprises, and the next $1 million find could be close.